The air in the restaurant is filled with the soft hum of quiet conversations and the gentle melody of a piano playing in the background. It's the kind of place where elegance isn't just a concept, it's expected. Crystal chandeliers reflect soft light off polished surfaces, casting a warm, golden glow over the diners, their glasses clinking with laughter and whispered stories. Every detail of this place screams wealth, sophistication, and status. Among the crowd of well-dressed patrons sits Nathaniel Harrington, a man who doesn't just walk into a room, he owns it. His steps are deliberate, almost predatory, as he surveys the restaurant with the kind of air that makes you feel like you're not even in the same league. His sharp suit, the perfectly pressed cuffs, the gleaming gold watch on his wrist, it's all part of the uniform of the wealthy elite. Nathaniel strides past tables, his gaze skimming over the guests with barely a second glance, as if he were a king strolling through his court, judging everyone beneath him. He settles at a table near the window, looking around with an air of superiority. A slight smirk curls on his lips, as if he's already decided that this evening will be just another notch in the belt of his extravagant life. He's in charge, he's the one people notice, the one people serve. But then something happens. Nathaniel's gaze shifts, his eyes narrow as they land on Sara, a black waitress moving gracefully between tables. Her presence is a stark contrast to the cold arrogance that defines Nathaniel. She's calm, composed, with a quiet strength that radiates from her every step. But that's not what catches Nathaniel's attention. No, it's the way she carries herself. She doesn't look at him with awe, doesn't cater to his apparent need for validation. A smile spreads across Nathaniel's face. It's not a friendly smile, but the kind of smile that's almost a challenge. He looks her up and down, sizing her up. A waitress, thinking she's above being treated like one of the many invisible staff members. The smirk deepens on his lips as he watches her, an idea starting to form in his mind. What happens next, however, is something Nathaniel never expected, because what he doesn't know is that Sara is no ordinary waitress. Her calm exterior conceals an inner strength that could not only match his arrogance, but perhaps turn his world upside down. Introduction. The first encounter. Sara is just another face in the crowd, one of the many employees in the luxury restaurant that caters to the rich and powerful. But to her, this is more than just a job. It's a way to survive, a means to maintain her dignity in a world that often refuses to acknowledge people like her. She's used to the looks, the condescending tones, the way some guests treat her like she's invisible. She's learned to smile, to nod, to endure. But there are moments, rare moments, when her patience wears thin. She's been called every name under the sun, dismissed like she's beneath anyone who doesn't share her skin color, but tonight feels different. Nathaniel's eyes are still locked on her as she approaches his table, the weight of his gaze like a challenge in the air. His smirk is a subtle jab, an expectation that she'll act like the others before her, that she'll bow to his superiority. Sara, with a calm smile, but underneath there's a hint of defiance. "Good evening, sir. My name is Sara. I'll be your server tonight. Can I start you off with a drink?" Nathaniel's smirk widens, a flicker of amusement in his eyes as he watches her. He enjoys the fact that she's not bowing down to him, but he sees it as a challenge, and Nathaniel Harrington doesn't like to lose. Nathaniel, eyes still scanning her with a condescending tone. "Water. Sparkling, not tap. Do I look like someone who drinks cheap water?" Sara's smile doesn't waver. She's heard it all before, the entitlement, the demeaning remarks. But tonight, she's not going to just nod and walk away. No, tonight, something shifts inside her. Sara, politely, but with a hint of firmness. "Certainly, sir. I'll bring that right out for you." She turns and walks away, but not without feeling the weight of his eyes still on her. There's something unsettling about the way Nathaniel looks at her, like he's trying to figure her out, sizing her up as though she's an object to be controlled. But Sara has always been in control of her own narrative, even if it's only in small ways. As Sara returns to the kitchen, she pushes down the rising irritation bubbling inside her. The kitchen is bustling, and the heat of the stoves combined with the speed of orders makes it hard to concentrate. But Sara focuses. She grabs the sparkling water and heads back to Nathaniel's table. Sara, thinking to herself, "Just keep it professional. Keep your cool. Don't let him get to you." When she reaches his table, she places the water in front of him, the quiet clink of the glass on the table filling the momentary silence between them. But Nathaniel doesn't even look up from his phone, his fingers scrolling across the screen as if he has no care for her presence. He doesn't acknowledge her at all. It's as if she's just a passing shadow. Sara holding back her frustration with a slight edge to her voice. "Here's your sparkling water, sir. Is there anything else I can get for you to start?" Finally, Nathaniel looks up at her, his eyes lingering over her with that same condescending look. But this time, something's different. There's a sharper edge in his voice when he speaks, an impatience that starts to boil over. Nathaniel, with a mocking smirk, "How about a steak, medium rare? And make sure it's cooked the way I like it. I don't want to be disappointed." His words are like a slap in the face, not just to her, but to anyone who has ever had to endure the cruelty of the entitled. Sara, who has spent years biting her tongue, can feel the frustration rising. She wants to snap, wants to say something to cut him down to size, but she takes a deep breath. Sara, forcing a smile, but there's steel beneath it. "Of course, sir. I'll take care of it right away." As she walks away, her mind is a whirlwind of thoughts. She's faced far worse, entitled, rude, demeaning customers. But something about Nathaniel pushes her buttons more than usual. He doesn't get to treat her like this. Sara, thinking to herself, "This isn't just another night. I'm not going to let him get away with it. Not this time." Back in the kitchen, Sara's hands shake slightly, but she keeps her composure. She prepares his steak with precision, making sure it's perfect. As she hands it off to the kitchen staff, she knows that something is changing. She's done playing the role of the quiet server. When she returns to Nathaniel's table, she's ready for whatever he throws at her. But this time, she's not just a server. She's a woman with dignity, and Nathaniel is about to find out what happens when you push someone too far.